questions too about the aurora the other night. Unfortunately, I seem to be still on the tail end of some of those happenings. Although Alison said to me that the morning of that aurora photo that was taken up at the dark sky site, Alison left early just as the sun was coming up. And she said it was a very, very pretty sunrise. So I suspect that aurora may have had some effect on how the sun looked upon sunrise the following morning. I have noticed that on a few occasions where there's been some auroral activity, even the sunset can be quite colourful. Anyway, there we go. We'll have to definitely catch up with one of these events at some stage soon. I saw a few people that had gone down to, I think it was down to Cape Schanck. Pretty sure it was down to Cape Schanck. And there was some viewing down there, but apparently there's a lot of people down there. From a few posts that I'd seen online indicated that there was quite a number of people that had ventured out. So they're obviously keeping a closer eye on things than what we are. Anyway, enough of all of that. Thanks again for the broadcast there, Clint. If you're about afterwards and it's quiet, I might have a few words if you're free. Otherwise, we'll possibly catch up with you sometime over the weekend. VK3EKH, VK3GL in Bunyip.
Yeah, thanks, Gray. VK3GL, Bunyip, VK3EKH replying. Very good. Good signal from you tonight. Good 20 over 9. And note of the QSB that you pointed out too. Yes, and Monday, I think it was 5 o'clock in the morning. If I had been aware of the possibility for the aurora as it was, I think it would have been very interesting to have got up and had a look. It's really hard to know when things like this happen, unless you're out there looking for it. So there it is. Yep, no worries, Graham. And look, I've got the YouTube stream running again. It's now locked back up again. So the YouTube stream's there again, but you don't have to go looking. We've got to try and just get that sorted out for next week. Anyway, thanks, Graham. Across to Jack, VK3TJS in Shepparton. G'day, Jack. This is VK3EKH.
VK3EKH. This is VK3TJS. Good evening to you, Clint, and good evening to everyone that's joined the net and listening. And certainly quite interesting broadcast tonight. I probably agree with Graham as far as the signals and a bit of QSB and a lot of crackling noise, but kind of beating that, and between 15 and 20 over here in Shepparton. So it was quite good. And as far as auroras, I can only say about sunsets. They've certainly been pretty colourful here in Shepparton. I'm not sure on the sunrise, certainly. But I've had some reports from friends back in Europe, in Poland, where I used to live, that there were quite spectacular auroras there, and I certainly have never seen it out there, so a bit of a phenomena over there. And thanks again for the broadcast, and I'll probably catch up with you next Friday. I missed a few of those nights, but just been too tired or just totally just done something else, I think. So all the best to everyone. Keep well and have a lovely weekend. I'll catch you next time. VK3KH, this is VK3TJ. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Yep, thanks, Jack. VK3TJS, VK3EKH returning, and you're also hovering around 20 over 9, and quite good signal down into Narre Warren. And yes, look, at some stage I will eventually see the aurora for my own eyes. Whether I go to the northern hemisphere to see it, or whether I get the chance of seeing it down here, I don't know. But I suspect that if you live in Hobart in Tasmania, there you'd you get a fairly good opportunity of seeing it on a regular basis. And because we're now, in the next solar cycle, 25, and with it peaking the way it is, there's a very strong likelihood that we'll get a chance to see it in these over the next few months at least. So it'll eventually happen. But you're quite right. Some of the beautiful sunsets that you see, you often wonder if there might be an aurora happening in all that. But it seems that most of the auroras that do get photographed seem to be predominantly around sunset times, well, a little bit just after sunset and a little bit before sunrise. I don't know whether that's the way it works, but it seems to be the way it goes. I would have thought that if there was any strong auroral activity occurring at any time of the night, you'd be able to see it. So you should look into that. Thanks, Jack. Across to you there, Kieran. VK3BTV. This is VK3EKH.
VK3EKH, VK3BTV. Thanks for the broadcast there, Clint. Very entertaining. And somebody said there was a bit of phasing on your signal, and I would agree. But we had some mad conditions on 80 metres recently, so I'm not surprised. But you're a good solid 20 over 9 here into Ringwood, and generally 20 to 30 over 9. You generally range between about 20 and 40 over. Chat about the YouTube, I turned it off eventually. I just gave it away. But they just said YouTube was playing up, so I didn't bother with that too much. Oh, g'day, John. Good to hear you guys from Shepparton. And the article on Carl Jansky was very interesting. Like, I was a radio astronomy pioneer, and he achieved a lot in his short lifetime. He died at 44 from a heart condition. But what he did in the time that he was here was quite amazing, and propelled radio astronomy into the future. So he did a fantastic job. And last one, the SpaceX meteor shower. So we've got SpaceX meteor showers, and then SpaceX satellite arrays or distributions. I think the satellite police might have to get up there and clean things up. Great broadcast, VK3EKH, VK3BTV.
Yeah, no worries, Kieran. VK3BTV, VK3EKH. Yes, I agree. There definitely has to be some sort of debris police, some sort of control over what's going on up there. It's way out of control. I mean, they're trying to control what's orbiting this planet, but there's so much of it. I'd hate to be really in that International Space Station. I think the chances of that station being hit by debris is really on the cards. I mean, it has been hit various times. Nothing too bad at this point in time, but they're forever having to scan ahead with that International Space Station. And if there's anything that's in its path, and they've got to seriously alter the altitude of the International Space Station to lessen any possible impact. But then, as you say, on the way down, let's dump our trash, and it's just hopeless, really. Anyway, I guess there it is. Good signal, Karen, and okay on the phasing on the signal. Interesting. Next station is we have Martin, VK7JAH in Launceston. Go ahead, Martin, VK3EKH.
Clint, you're down in the noise a little bit tonight. I was
probably more be back to you as well, so we'll see how we go. Nevertheless, you see that 10 over 9, readability 3, so I'm missing a little bit there. Good broadcast, had a few troubles with the feed. Apparently I've got an open microphone somewhere in bunker 4, and I'm not sure where it is. I'll have to go look into that, that should be interesting. But apart from that, very clear down here, no sign of an attack. The street lights were glowing more than a year would. But I've seen a few hundred years, so nothing wrong. I'm sure there'll be a few more at some point in the future.
Right. I always wait for the call signs, but all of a sudden you just stop dead. VK7JH, VK3EKH. Yeah, no worries, Martin. We're hearing you reasonably well. I mean, the lightning crashes are fairly intense, but between the crashes, I can certainly make out what you're saying, so not a problem there. And I think the linear is running. Let me just check. You know, I've been running barefoot tonight. I've just realised I haven't switched in the linear. Let me just bring it from 100 to 400 for what it's worth. All right, that should be a few more. Hang on a sec. Yep. All right. Okay, that's a few more watts there, and I should have ran that from the beginning. It's not one thing; it's another in this station. Tell you. Anyway, all right. YouTube's running again, by the way. It's I've got the red label there, so red light. So it's red means going. Anyway, thanks, Martin. Let's hope the signal is improved now. My apologies for that too. All right, it's Peter, VK3ACZ next, VK3EKH.
In the group, VK3ACZ. Good evening, Clinton, everybody. Thank you for the broadcast. Bit of a scroll around the SDRs, and you might be more interested to know, since you were barefoot today. Strength 8 over in Perth. Probably the best of them, because there was Q1. That thunderstorm east of Bass Strait there in the Tasman is doing us no favours, as we know. You were 10 over 9 in Rosa. The Q1 Nelly was really crashing around a lot. But anyway, what to do. A quick word about the solar disturbance on early Monday morning. It really made 20 metres was really flat. Nothing was coming via the pole. But I tell you what compensated for it, Clint, was the tropospheric ducting. We had some really good combo, and whereas I lost HS, I worked some very nice VK7s. Almost as if they were in the same suburb. It was really wonderful. So it compensated a bit what we lost with one and with the other. But anyway, here's hoping that you get to see your aurora pretty soon. It's a lot of fun. And thanks again, VK3EKH, VK3ACZ.
Yeah, thanks, Peter. VK3ACZ, VK3EKH with VK3CSJ on the microphone. Yeah, look, no worries, Peter. Look, I'm sure it's just a matter of time. I'm still working on my own observatory here in the backyard, and even though once I get that dome set up and telescopes established, that general location still won't be very good for looking at the any kind of auroral activity, because generally you've got to be have a good view of the southern hemisphere or southern horizon, and right down to the horizon to get a good view of anything that's happening. So look, I'll get there. I doubt very much whether I'll ever get a chance to go to the northern hemisphere. I just don't see any trip happening over that way unless I win Tats Lotto. But yeah, and thanks for the report on the SDRs around town. Well, that's not too bad. I'm glad to see that the mere 100 watts that I was running was still getting afar to some areas, and I've taken note of that local lightning activity that's occurring. So yeah. Anyway, there it is. Thanks, Peter. Very good. Now it's across to Greg, VK3 Delta X-ray at Warrnambool, VK3EKH.
Good evening, VK3EKH.
VK3 Delta X-ray. And good evening to everyone else that have been checking in there, Kieran and Peter and Graham and all that. Yeah, all good signal. The only signal I struggled with was the chap in VK7, but anyway, I noticed the VK7, the night weren't coming through that good on the battleship net. Yeah, a little bit different. My signal seems consistent up there at about 20 over there, Clint. So, yeah, no fading or variation. Even if the amp on there, you might have kept the average up there just a little bit better. But all good. Yeah, very interesting session tonight there, Clint, as it always is. And I, like a few others, haven't seen the Southern Lights, and I'm right here on the coast, but I obviously just haven't been there at the right time. Anyway, it sounds like maybe I'll happen shortly. Probably missed it there last week. I was at the Anzac service there at Tuesday. It was quite solid on Monday. But anyway, didn't notice it. Yeah. Anyway, all good, Clint. On that note, and we'll catch up again next week. VK3 Delta X-ray. Good on you, Clint. Cheers, mate.
Thanks, Greg. VK3 Delta X-ray, VK3 EKH returning. Very good. And, yep, no worries about last week. All understood. And okay on the signal report as it is now, at least. Just bringing up the average a little bit. That's all I could hope for. So I'm hoping that the YouTube stream for next week will be sorted out, hopefully too. It's a bit of a nuisance the way that drops out, because I do rely on having a good YouTube stream for all the visual graphics that I show. There it is. Anyway, thanks, Greg. Thanks very much for the words. Steve, VK3HK. Good evenings to you there, Steve. VK3EKH.
Yes, VK3EKH. This is VK3HK. Good evening, Clint, baby. What happened to 160? There I was, all tuned up, all ready to go, waiting, bated breath, nothing. Anyway, finally got organised, and I've been using the BATC page, or link, or whatever you want to describe it as, and that's been perfect, absolutely perfect all the way through. So I think in future I might use that one. Your signal on 80 metres has been so good that I really thought you were using your linear. No, I was sitting here listening, and I thought, I better put my linear on, so I've switched my linear on. I don't think we need it. You're normally 20 dB over 9. When you put your linear on, you went up to about 24, 25 over 9. You didn't really need it as far as I'm concerned. I'm using the Marconi T, the 160 metre one. Oh, very interesting, especially that rotatable array which the fellow was using. I've seen black and white photos of that. Never ever saw a colour one, and I have never ever seen one of such sharpness, clarity. So that was interesting, and all that space junk coming down. Ooh. There you are. Anyway, you probably want to finish up, so I'll shoot it back to you. VK3EKH. VK3HK.
Yeah, go, Steve. Just out of interest, was there any sound associated with the BATC feed?
Yes, it was all working perfectly.
So I completely forgot to mention that. I know that it's attached to the repeater. Where the TV repeater is, they've got a separate computer that runs so that it takes a video feed and deliberately sends it, streams it to the BATC video server. And sometimes the audio, the vision works, but the audio tends to fall over. But it looks like it was working perfectly fine. So, damn it! I should have checked on that. So, well, next week I'll, if I still have YouTube problems, I'll certainly mention the BATC feed. In fact, I'll have a double check of it here, and for the sake of knowing that it is working, so that at least I can mention it. Things that bother you. Yeah, good signal from you. You're hovering around 25 over, between 20 and 30. So good signal at Marconi T. I need to get some information on that Marconi T, its length and height, and how you're feeding it, because I wouldn't mind trying to replicate the same antenna here as an alternative to the vertical. In fact, Steve, what I plan to do tomorrow, if it's not raining, I want to retune the Hushcraft that I use for 160 for 1824, because currently it's tuned to 1865, because what I would normally do, and as you've pointed out, I would normally run a simulcast on a 160. Now that's still on the cards to do. I have... the only reason why I'm off 160 at the moment is because my other Pro 3 has failed. For some reason, the display is playing up, and I need to investigate that. So, as I think you might be aware, I had two Pro 3s, and I used to refer to them as HF1, HF2, i.e. 80 and 160, and they were just sitting on top of each other. And so one of the Pro 3s was my 160 meter transmitter, but since that's fallen over, so has the 160 meter service. So despite the fact that I've got some other transmitters around that I could use, but they're downstairs, and it's a little bit difficult to run things between upstairs and downstairs. So at the moment, I'm just off air on 160 at the moment from as far as the broadcast is concerned. Yeah, unfortunately. What else? I think there was something else in there, but I can't think of it. Anyway, oh yes, what I was going to say, tomorrow, or at least by Monday, because I will be up on the Coffee Break Net on Monday, because it's a RDO, I'm going to retune the Hushcraft to 1825, hopefully tomorrow. So it'll be retuned from 1865 to 1825, so it'll be nice and QE on 1825. That should help things a little bit. But I also intend to run one or two, maybe three ground radials. As you know, at the moment there's no ground radials at all. So at least one, but I hope to put at least, maybe if I can do it, at least two or three ground radials on the system, back on the system, how it was initially. And I'll be very keen to see how the signals will be on the Coffee Net Monday morning. Just let you know that one. I sent you an email too, by the way. I don't know whether you got that, but sent you an email with an interesting picture of Peter Cousins, VK3 BFG, sitting in front of the console at the Science Museum WIA broadcast. But what's more interesting than that is the fact that there's a picture, I believe, a photograph of the AM transmitter that Marty's using now, the old WIA transmitter. You can see it in the rack. So I thought that was historically, I thought that was interesting to share. I was going through all those WIA articles that you sent in that link. Enough of that. Thanks, Steve. We'll try and catch up with you if not sooner, certainly Monday. Now we're across to another Steve, VK3SBX, VK3EKH.
VK3EKH, this is VK3SBX. Hi, Clint. Yeah, lots of interesting stuff today. Pretty about that Japanese lunar landing, wasn't it? But that Earthrise photo was nice. I had the original Apollo 8 Earthrise photograph on my wall for many years, taken in 1968. Just a fantastic photo. And there was lots of interesting stuff too, that black hole being tossed out of a galaxy and leaving a chain of blue stars in its wake. It was just awesome, I think. Yeah, amazing. And as for the solar cycle that various people have commented on already, good to see it cleaning up the neighbourhood. We need a bit more of that, especially Elon's junk. That's really good to see. I did try and persist with YouTube. I had the fourth version of YouTube going along with Richard's Discord video, which was kind of interesting. they were both going at the same time, but the YouTube had 22 seconds behind the Discord, which was 3 seconds behind HF. So it was kind of interesting, especially when I had the audios all going at one time, which was a bit tricky. And yes, so I don't have the equipment for the RTV. Not that I could get it here in Barringup anyway, but from that discussion you just had, I believe we can get it from the BATC server, I think you said. So I'd be interested to know how to do that. But I guess you'll sort the YouTube out eventually. And just lastly, you turned your amplifier on. Well, I didn't notice the difference. Your signal's been terrific all night, and I was looking at my S-meter when you did that, and I hardly saw it move. Well, apart from jumping up and down as it normally does, but no obvious difference. So, I don't know. It didn't seem to make much difference. So, great signal anyway all day. Okay, thanks, Clint. Good job. VK3 EKH, VK3 SPX.
Yeah, no worries, Steve. VK3 SPX, VK3 EKH replying, and it's the British Amateur Television Club, BATC, the British Amateur Television Club. They have as part of their internet connections and whatever, they have their own video streamer, which has run for years. It's been running for years and years and years. And it's a lot of ATVers around the world have their streams going into it, and RTV has their streams going into it, RTV1 and RTV2. So, and you don't have to be a member of the society or of the club to be able to view the stream. It is a free resource to be able to log in, or not log in as such, but click on to the active repeaters or video streams and see what others are doing. It's predominantly, of course. What was that? What was that, Richard? Oh, okay. Yeah, Richard's supplied a link in Discord where that stream can be available. So normally, I guess the reason why I don't plug it too much is that sometimes it's not always there. And mostly the sound is the thing that seems to fall over. The picture is there, but the sound seems to fall over. That's out of my control. So that's a situation that occurs. It's something that occurs at the repeater site. But it appears, according to Steve 3HK, that it's all been good today. So I could have easily have indicated to people to go there. There it is. I'll say it next week if my YouTube isn't sorted out by them. Anyway, okay, yes, it's interesting. I'm fairly certain that I got the linear going. I can't really do that and turn around 180 degrees. Maybe I can use my camera to check the power meter. That's the way to do it. I'll zoom in on the power meter. So I can see on the computer screen what's going on. There it is. Alright, there we are. We're on the linear now. So I can see what's going on. Struth. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. What setting is that on? That's the 2 kilowatt setting. Yeah, okay, maybe I should be driving it okay. It's a bit hard to do that. There's a bit of delay in the system. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's not going to work. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. Let me just check. Oh, I know what's going on. Stand by, ladies and gentlemen. I'm still running at 100 watts. That's why you haven't noticed any difference. My PTT cable was disconnected from the back of the radio. Let me just re-establish my PTT link. Just behind the radio as I speak. And Hopefully I'll get the right RCA jack. I think that's the right cable. I'll probably end up blowing up Pro 3. No, where are we? This one. Just a sec.
He needs a full-time studio manager.
Hang on a sec. I'm going to work out why this is not working. No, it's the wrong cable. You can talk amongst yourselves for a minute until I find my right cable here. There it is. Found it. And just stand by a sec. We're going to plug the PTT in here, which should activate the linear straight away as I speak. Just bear with us. I'm doing things behind the radio that I can't see what I'm doing. Right. Okay, that should Harlow. Yeah, that's significantly better. All right. Okay, we now have the linear on, and I can see the plate voltage swinging around, and it's getting up to about 400. Look at that, right on 400, according to that power meter. All right, how's that changed things, Steve? VK3SPX, VK3CSJ, EKH.
VK3 EKH, VK3 SPX, yeah, that actually did something, Glenn, somewhere between about 6, 8, 10 dB better, nudging 40 now, was only 30 before, so noticeably better. And incidentally, I cut that link out of the Discord service so I can see it on the British Amateur Television Club thing as well. So, although it seems to be a bit jerky, it seems to stop and start a bit. Anyway, well, you did very well with 100 watts anyway, Clint, but just shows you, doesn't it? But definitely better now. VK3 EKH, VK3 SPX.
It's been one of those nights, that's for sure. I thought I had it all worked out tonight, but there it is. This station, I tell you. I will get it right one day. I will definitely get it right one day. So that'll be something to celebrate. All right. Having said that, is there any other stations wishing to check in? VK3 EKH listening? Nope. All right. Thanks, everyone. It's been really great to have you all there, and I apologise for the YouTube side of things. It's still working now. I'm on YouTube now as I speak. It's telling me that I'm linked, but I will indicate the British Amateur Television Club's server next week, and hopefully things will be all kosher next week, and I'll definitely make sure that the linear is also plugged in. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for your kind words and being there, and we'll be back next Friday at 10 o'clock on these airs and doing it all again. This has been VK3 Echo Kilo Hotel on behalf of the Astronomical Society of Victoria, the official call sign for the ASV, concluding services for tonight, and we shall resume next Friday to do it all again. Take care, everybody. Look after yourselves, and see you next week. VK3 EKH clear on 3541.
Before you clear off, this is VK3HK. The antenna which you're going to tweak, is that the one which you normally use on the coffee net?
Yep, roger.
Okay, well I've already taken a reading on that, so we'll be able to compare and contrast and see if you've improved the jolly old thing. And yes, three radials would be very nice. Even I have 3 radials on my shed portable type setup, so if I can manage 3 radials, you can.
Well, it's tricky. 2 radials are possible. If I have a star, like a star configuration, where the radials are equal dimensions apart, one radial has to go through the fence line and out into the creek. In fact, I've got a whole lot of blackberries in the way at the moment, but I do have I did run a ground radial through the fence and buried it in the ground so it wasn't going to get caught up in the council tractor when it comes to cut the grass once a year. But I think that wire is just caught up in the blackberries. If I can locate that wire, I can probably re-establish it on the antenna, and all I've got to do is run 2 new wires on the system tomorrow. But I will have to butcher some blackberries, which are a bit of a pain. But yeah, look, I'll do that. So yes, I knew you had made a record of people's signal strengths, including myself. So it will be interesting to see if there's any difference. I'm expecting it will be, but anyway, it'll be interesting to see. So if it's not raining tomorrow, I'll get a chance to do that, and we'll see how it goes. Excellent stuff. VK3HK, VK3CSJ.
Okie doke. And remember, you don't need to make them a quarter of a wavelength long. 50 feet it'll do more than that adequate. And those extra pictures which you put up while we're talking of the rotatable array, very interesting. And you dirty rat, it's a reconstruction. I read the plaque. Oh boy. But anyway, all very good.
Afternoon, gentlemen. VK3ASE.
G'day, Dave. VK3ASE. Good evening to you. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. And g'day there, HK. Yeah, I'm just wondering if you guys are going to go to the Hamfest next week, and Rapid Hamfest, which is pretty good. So I'll be there, and should be all to the good. Anyway, back to you there, Clint.
Yeah, no worries, Steve. Sorry, Dave. Yeah, I've got plans to head to it, actually. I haven't been to a Hamfest for quite a while. And there is there's potentially a reason for going there, because I'm hoping that I might be able to pick up a couple of things that I've already purchased, and I'm hoping that the fellow that I've got these things purchased from will also be going to the Hamfest. I've yet to arrange that, but otherwise we do plan to be there. So if I see you, I shall tap you on the back and say g'day. But yeah, it'll be good to go to the Hamfest. Haven't been to one for ages. I believe the arrangement out there on the Pean Highway. I think I haven't been to this new Moorabbin Club Hamfest, but I believe it's a bit of a trick to get parking and actually go to the actual floor. There's apparently a lift or steps that you have to climb. So it'd be interesting to see how that's all configured. But we'll see for sure. No worries, Dave. Good signal from you. You're about 20 over the 9 here into Narre Warren. VK3ASE, VK3CSJ.
Yeah, go Clint. Yeah, look, I've been to all the Hamfests for the last few weeks or a month or whatever. What was it? Ballarat, the Werribee, they're both good ones. And I didn't see anyone from the 160 group or anyone there really at all. It was all different people, which is it's good. But I would have expected maybe to see some of the other guys. So that's all to the good. We look forward to seeing people, have a bit of a chat. And the Raven's a bit of a pain because there's only a bit of parking near the thing, and underneath it's always full. I park up the back streets miles away, and then by the time I bought my junk, there's clear spots down the front. I just park there and bring it down. Anyway, there's much less need to get that sort of junk. Just see mic level. I'll just turn it down a bit because it's hitting the ALC a lot there on the thing. It's running 100 watts here, 80 metre dipole-matic. And anyway, I'll put it back to Steve, VK3HK, VK3ASE.
Okay, Dave. Yes, you're coming in here about 20 over 9. Quite good. Good audio. Despite all the snap, crackle and pop going on at the present time, which is a real pain. But there it is. Yes. Oh dear. Moorabbin net. same reasons which you've just mentioned. Wouldn't go anywhere near it. Terrible. Would be good fun parking on the beach side of the highway. Then you could see how lucky you were crossing the highway. Boy. Nah. Given up. I used to live down at Beaumaris and quite familiar with that area. To be avoided at all costs. I've got tons of stuff which I'd like to flog off, but until EMDRC get their act into gear, I guess I'm just going to retain it, which is a pity, because I'm sure there'd be a lot of people who would like to have what I have, which I don't need anymore. Anyway, there it is. Okay. So there. Anyway, back to you, Clint. I'm looking at this rotatable array at the moment. I think I could probably work out one of those for 40 metres for the backyard. It'd be pretty good. Oh dear. Maybe just one element. I don't know about what he had. Oh, and I got Jansky. I put Gansky on the email too. Sorry about that. Back to you, Clint. This is VK3HK.
Yeah, no worries, Steve. VK3HK, VK3ASC, VK3CSJ. All very good. Yes, I'm showing some footage at the moment of the Greenbank Observatory. So it just goes for about 4 minutes, but it started off showing that in the grounds of the Greenbank Observatory. There's they have the Jansky antenna, which you would have seen at the beginning of that video running right now. But predominantly, this short video is predominantly of the Greenbank Observatory itself. It's quite a large dish that you're seeing there. It's a little bit hard to get the perspective with the drone footage that's being taken of it, but it is quite a big antenna and doing some magnificent stuff. Yeah, all right. Well, look, I'll shoot across there. Hopefully, I'll have some money to be able to spend on anything good that I might see. I always got to come home with something, that's for sure. But I've got to be careful. But yeah, if I see anything that might contribute to the rebuilding of the Philips Philips aeronautical transmitter that I've got. For 160, I might snaffle that. There's a few things I might need for that. Currently, that Philips aeronautical thing is sitting on 120 megs somewhere, and what I'd like to do is actually to just to plug a crystal in that gets me onto 2 meter band somewhere, and see if it actually does work quite well on 2 meters AM, 100 watts on 2 AM. I'll probably have that going for a little while just for the fun of it, and then I'll think about modifying the RF deck, or at least removing the current RF deck and installing an RF deck that gets it to work on 160 AM. How many 160 meter AM transmitters can you have? Anyway, all right. I think I'll leave it at that and let you guys go. But it's good to hear there, Dave, and look forward to catching up at the Hamfest for sure. VK3ASE, VK3CSJ.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, you've both got magnificent signals here that I can't. You're totally squashing the atmospherics. No problems at all. And we've got no noise here at all. I can hear the coffee break better here than I could at home or on the SDR. It's quite amazing. Not that I've listened all that much lately, but yeah, totally just flat line, no noise, occasional click from an electric fence. But anyway, you're coming. I think your signals will get through at any rate at the moment. The way the conditions are from Melbourne. Yeah, look, Melbourne's okay. It's just you got to be careful about parking. I don't mind, but it's not a bad Hamfest. Yeah, look at the junk. Oh God, I'll tell you what. Really, I'm pretty sure Steve's the same idea. All the old crap is just crap. Just throw it in the tip. I've put trailer loads of old valve stuff just down the mine shafts here, just down a 100-foot mine shaft, never be seen again, and it's really just crap, and the relief of seeing it disappear is so good. And if you use more modern stuff, and keep the best of the old, but really trying to modify old stuff when you can just do it much more easily with more modern stuff is so good. Anyway, I'll put it back to you. I think Clint wants to go, but over to you, VK, Steve, VK3HK, VK3ASC.
Yes, I remember looking at your experiment with the 807 and with some loudspeakers. You're a whack-a-dave, dearie me. Yeah. No, the stuff which I have is really good stuff. Wouldn't throw it away. I've had, I don't know how many shack clear-outs and shed clear-outs, and I do exactly what you're saying. Chuck it out, get rid of it. Haven't used it for 30 years. You're not going to. Goodbye. Plop. Yes. Clint, the photo which you sent of Peter and so on, no. The WA transmitter is not in that photo. It used to be mounted, that rack, it was mounted at the bottom of the rack in the centre, and there's nothing there at all. It's just a blank plate or something in that photograph. So if you can remember, when was that photograph taken? Back to you, Clint.
I can actually see the email here. Okay, I can see there's 3 emails from you. Sent box. Where's my sent box? Because I thought I mentioned the date on it. No, there's no there. So you sure that's not the same transmitter? Because if you, I mean, all right, it's got a different meter, so somebody's changed the meter, but the key things that marry up with the transmitter, which is the reason why I supplied the photograph of the current 160 meter emitter, all the knobs basically line up. For all intents and purposes, Steve, that's the same transmitter. The 3 knobs, one next to the meter and 2 right below the meter. Then you've got a couple of well, there's the mic socket and a net and send switch, which is also just visible in the black and white shot. And then you've got 4 controls, 4 knobs, which are in identical position. So unless they manufactured these AM transmitters from a set fixed printing press, for all intents and purposes, that's the same transmitter that you can see in the photograph below. I'm pretty sure it is. Now, if I open up the PDF file, which I've sent, the date, I can't see a date on that page. No, there's no date on that page. It's just got amateur radio page 9. Normally they have a date down there on the below, but there's not a date. I've left it open on the computer downstairs on the laptop. I've left it open on which AR it was, or actually the thing was I went looking for articles on radio astronomy, and I don't know exactly why. Oh, here we are. It's because I can actually that's interesting. I can see a reference there to the Astronomical Society of Victoria. I've just seen it in the article. It's got here, the latest service is provided by the what's provided? Over the past 103 years of existence, the Science Museum has engaged in various activities involving the general public, including the training of telephonists, 1873, lectures in geology, chemistry, and more recently, 1965, lectures on astronomy in the planetarium and the observatory. The latest service is provided by the Astronomical Society of Victoria, utilising their own and Science Museum telescopes. Oh, that's interesting. So the ASV used to have lectures on astronomy. It says here more recently, 1965. So you're looking around around 1965 that this image was taken, from what I gather. So, I would, as far as I'm concerned, that's got to be the 160 metre AM transmitter. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, could well be. As you say, all the knobs are in the right position. And who knows what's happened. It was Eric, so it could very well be a different meter in there. And certainly the bottom right-hand knob is not a circular one anymore. I'd say it's all been Eric. The studio that Peter is in is not the studio that I worked in the late 90s. The presenter's desk is 180 degrees around the wrong way, and I don't remember some of the equipment which is on the left-hand side of that rack. Certainly that thing with all the, you can see 6 circular meters, and I don't remember that at all. So anyway, all right, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you because you've been your perseverance is excellent. Anyway, I'm going to shoot off to bed. Geez, it's a minute past midnight. According to Dave. Oh, that's during the day. If you go over midday, you turn into pumpkins or something, don't you, Dave? Over. 3 Kilo Golf.
Yeah, there's someone off frequency there. Yeah, you turn into pumpkins. Yeah, anyway, look, I think I'll let you go, and good to catch up, Steve and Clint. Look, I've set up a basic amateur ham station here in the house, which it's got 140 and 80. I should use it more, and it's like hundreds of meters away from the other systems, so there's no mutual interference or anything. So I'll occasionally come on 14 during the day and say hello to someone, but just a matter of getting the time to do it, I guess. But I will do more and come on more on the ham bands, and hopefully might see somebody if you there, Clint, at Brevin. And I'll just put it by to that other braking station, because I think you're well off frequency, and I'll have a listen. Go ahead.
The station that ended in Kilo Golf, go ahead.
I think he's gone, Clint.
Yeah, it's Craig, VK3 Kilo Golf, VK3 KG at Cape Clear. G'day, Craig. A little bit on the weak side and just a tad off frequency from what I can tell. Lightning static's really knocking you around a bit. VK3 KG, Cape Clear, VK3 CSJ, go ahead.
Well, this is call tonight. Anyway, I'll call tonight too, and good to talk with you, and see you next time, VK3.
Yeah, cheers, Dave. Good to hear you, mate. Thanks for coming up.
Roger that. Yeah, come up on 160 metre at some stage during the day. I'd like to hear what your signal sounds like. Other people down here say they've heard you, but I haven't.
Yes, I called up towards the end of the session and spoke to I've forgotten all their names. I haven't been down there for so long. Mr. Healesville, and who else was it? Marty, and Badger Creek. Sorry for listening there. I just got the names. Anyway, I will give it another try sometime.
Okay, Laurie at Badger, or Death Valley, as he says. And okay, when you come up, good day. I'm going to bed. 7-3. This is VK3HK.
Yeah, cheers, Steve, and we'll catch you Monday morning on the net. And cheers to there, Dave, as well. And if you're still there, Craig, bit hard to copy you, mate. The lightning static is really knocking you around a bit, but we'll take one more listen. VK3KG, VK3CSJ. Okay, no worries. All right, this is VK3CSJ clearing off and saying a very pleasant evening to mornings to everybody. This is VK3CSJ out of here.
Are you going clear, are you, Clint?
Well, yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, why?
Well, I thought you were just having general chit-chats to the audience, and I thought, I'll let you go, and then I'll catch up after you're finished.
I think Craig still is trying to talk. I'll try one more time. VK3KG, VK3CSJ. You're very, very weak, Craig. Having some difficulty hearing you. I think you've just had an over, but I'm not 100% sure. Taking one more listen.
Who's that station that says he was hanging around until Clint was going clear?
All right. It's Graham, VK3GL. Go ahead, Gray.
Oh, there you go. Kelvin's been sitting in the wings too, waiting for you to finish. I knew you were talking about all 160 metre stuff there, Clint, so that's one of the reasons why I didn't even bother to pop in and pass any comment because you're engaged, but that's okay. Yeah, I turned my amplifier on too, so I don't know whether or not that made much difference at all, but I could tell when you turned yours on and you fiddled around at the back of the radio and plugged in the PTT lead, and then it came up a bit. It seemed to iron out some of that QSB fading that we were having earlier on. Mind you, I think that's also disappeared. It's sort of stopped. Being conditions have changed a bit. So there we be. I heard you also say that you're going to go to the Hamfest by the sound of things. VK3CSJ with I think Kelvin there as well, VK3GL.
I'm not sure who's there. I was going to disappear, Gray, because I'm pretty tired. Once I do this broadcast, I'm fairly zipped out. I can go downstairs and I can be up for another 2 hours easy, but it's generally because I'm sort of turned into a zombie, and I'll catch up with a couple of another episodes of 24. I'm watching 24 again, Jack Bauer. I love 24. 24 is one of my favourite series, and I'm up to season 8 at the moment. So I usually put on a couple of episodes of 24 before I realise, Clint, go to bed. So I don't have to be anywhere tomorrow, and I don't know how well this weather's going to be tomorrow, but I do want to work on my antenna, 160 metre antenna tomorrow. I'd like to. It's usually a two-man job actually, but I'm going to try and work on it myself. It's going to be a bit tricky, but it's not a heavy antenna, but it's just a little bit awkward the way it's bolted to the ground. So if I can sort of loosen off the clamps and bring this thing down, I should be able to. I should be able to adjust it back to 1825, and if I remember correctly, I think I've marked where 1825 is on the vertical stinger element above the capacity hat, and so I should be able to bring it straight back down to 1825 without a problem, without having to fiddle with things. But we'll see. But I'd like to get 1825 a bit better responsive for the big emitter. What else is there? Otherwise, yes. Look, no. The only reason why I'll be heading off to Moorabbin, and I'm not sure if he knows it yet, actually. But one of our amateurs, TV amateurs, Ian VK3QL, is hopefully will be picking up a couple of down converters, and he'll be bringing them back home. But if he ends up going to the Hamfest, then I can catch up with him there to pick up these down converters. But if he's not turning up at the Hamfest, then I'm going to have to arrange some other way of being able to pick up these down converters. So that's what that's all about. Otherwise, I wouldn't be going. I wouldn't be going. But I'll rock up anyway and catch up with Dave and all the others and make it a social event and and if I can catch up, if I can see anything else that might be of some value, then I'll probably snaffle that too, knowing me. Anyways, all right, you reckon Kelvin's there? I keep forgetting his call sign. I think it's some CLK, isn't it? No, it's not right. CLK. CLB. I can't remember. Take it away, Colin, if you're there. VK3 CSJ.
I just heard another station there in the background. Yeah, it's VK3 Charlie Alpha Lima there, Clint. Yeah, up in not so sunny Kunduk at the moment. We've just sort of been in and out of the radio shack listening to your chat tonight, so doing very good. Another good program I found here, by the way, Graham. I think you got Netflix, maybe you too, Clint, I'm not sure. But it's called The Shooter. It's a bit boring sometimes, but very good. Anyway, a very good evening to you, gentlemen. We won't be hanging around long. We're going to watch in this episode and probably pull the pin and hit the sack. VK3GL and the group VK3CAL.
Okay, very good there, Kelvin. VK3CAL and the group, VK3GL. Yeah, good stuff there, Kelvin. Coming through quite all right at the moment. Lots of static noise. And perhaps not quite as strong as what you usually are, but you're still coming through quite okay. So that's good. And okay on the comments too about floating in and out of the shack. Well, I've been here most of the time, but all the time, but only casting a casual ear to Clint's broadcast due to the fact that there was a bit happening with work at the moment. So that's okay as well. I guess got to do what work requires of us. And okay, Clint on the Hamfest, very good. Oh, well, that'll be good to see you down there. You'll catch up with Cohen too, he's going to be there. He's got a bit of audio gear that he's going to have on a couple of tables, so he'll be down there, so you'll be able to catch up with the oldest of my kids. Tori will be there as well. She turned 23 yesterday, so she'll be there. Her boyfriend Louis is not going to be there though. He's got to work. So look, it should be a good day. Looking forward to the event. And then I don't know what else is on between now and sort of later in the year. I think the only one that I'm aware of will probably be Shepparton, but I won't be able to go to Shepparton because we're not going to be here. We'll be trekking about. So the Shepparton Hamfest, I won't be able to go there this year. I have to give that one a bit of a miss, which is a bit of a shame, but usually like going up there. Lee and I usually travel up there and share some accommodation, which is all right, and we go out for dinner and that. Always a good little social event. So there we go. Okay, on one to disappear. So look, I'd best perhaps let you go. That's what I was going to say to you. I think I wanted to ask you how you got on with that transistor that I provided for you for that repair. Wonder whether or not that sorted things out for you. And as I mentioned, they were only $6 for one of those, so they're not that dear. If you just fix this up with that, what is it? The mic and the mixer and that when you get a chance. Well, not the mic, just the mixer. That's right. You wanted just the mixer, didn't you? And the meter. That's it. The RF dummy load meter and the mixer that I provided. When you get a chance, Just take the extra $6 onto that. Anyway, let us know how you got on with that, and also with the mixer. I'm hoping that's working okay for your meter. I think you said that you were going to try it out, so I wonder how the tests went. VK3CSJ, VK3GL.
Yeah, just before I carry on, Craig, are you there? VK3KG, VK3EKH?
Yep, I'm still here. Can you copy me?
You're a bit stronger now, have a say.
Responding to the comments that were made about the transmitter in the old museum station. I wasn't involved with it. I only went in there once or twice and saw it. But I made a comment about the transmitters that were used in Victoria Parade at 478 before that station, when the broadcast was done from the WIA rooms there. And from memory, the radios were BC, Bravo Charlie 610, big monstrous thing, took a crystal, one of the old DC11 type crystals. I'm not sure how frequency agile they were, but they had one each, or had one in either room of transmitting rooms at 478 on 40 and 80 metres. I don't think they ever did 160 from Victoria Parade, but I'm wondering whether they transmitters also moved. One of them might have gone to the museum station. And the other comment I made was about a telescope in there at the museum. I know that we had a telescope on the roof of the radio school at RMIT that had originally belonged to R.R. Mackay, who was the head of radio, and he died tragically in the 60s, and it was, I believe, then donated to the Victorian Museum Science Museum. That went into the station that you mentioned at the museum, or whether it went down to St Kilda Road, the observatory there, I don't know. But I remember it was quite a big, bulky hunk of steel, you'd call it. It was left out under canvas cover for quite a while, so it might have had to have a lot of work done on it, but I think that was Rob Mackay's Anyway, that was my 2 bobs worth. Been listening without coming up and logging in anyway, so still enjoy the broadcast. Back to you, Clint. VK3 Kilo Golf.
Yeah, no worries, Craig. VK3 Kilo Golf, Cape Clear, VK3 CSJ. Yeah, no worries, Craig. Yeah, signal is definitely better now, although the lightning crashes are making it a bit difficult. But we certainly got you now. You obviously had the wrong microphone plugged in, or something wasn't quite right before. But anyway, we've got you now. And yeah, look, the article, I think it's 1965 AR. I've got it open on the laptop downstairs, but so I'm not 100% sure of the date. But Steve VK3HK sent out an email to a site that provided access to a whole lot of old copies of AR going back to 1933, I think. And I just typed in radio astronomy, so that brought up the reference to astronomy in that article. So it's not. I guess it's 1965, and I have to assume that it's the station that the WIA had set up in the Science Museum at Swanston Street. I think that's what the article is referring to. But I can probably get more information on it because it's got Peter Cozzens in it, VK3BFG. And it's a fairly young looking Peter. And what I'll do is I'll send him the same article and picture, and I'll see if I can shake his memory as to where he was when that photograph was taken, so I get a better idea of where he was, whether it's the Science Museum or maybe at somewhere else. But the interesting point was that there's a picture of a 160 meter AM transmitter, which has been around a bit, and it's been rebuilt by Laurie VK3SJ. He's built it up to a mint condition, and it's now in the hands of Marty VK3AKG. And of course, Marty comes up on the coffee break net on 1825 every day. And the quality and the sound of this transmitter is absolutely remarkable. It's a beautiful sounding wideband AM sounding audio, and it's the old WIA 160 meter transmitter, and it sounds beautiful on air. It's got a real quality to it. So I saw this picture of Peter sitting at the desk at the WIA broadcast studio, which I assume was at the Science Museum, and I could see the picture of this 160 meter transmitter in the background, and I thought, that's it. That's historically that's a photograph of the same transmitter, which is like I said, it's done the rounds and it's been rebuilt, and it's still working. It's still in the hands of a fellow that's using it for the coffee break net, which is really good. So, so there you go. And it was just interesting to see that the Astronomical Society has been involved with the Science Museum from all that long time ago, well and truly before I knew anything about the ASV. So. I do miss the Science Museum as it was in Swanson Street. I used to catch the train in the late 70s, mid to late 70s. I would venture into Melbourne all by myself on the Red Rattler or the blue train, and head into Melbourne, Flinders Street, and spend a few hours wandering the electronic shops and technical bookstore, and going into the science works and pressing the button on all these useless devices that used to do things when you press the button. Always found that interesting anyway. But if I could, I would spend some time in the planetarium, this amazing dome. So I wonder whatever happened to all that. Anyway, there it is. Anyway, thanks, Craig. Good to hear you now, at least. And note that you do often listen, but don't always come up. I think that you said that. Not a problem. All right. Okay. Now, Graham said something. No, I haven't replaced the component yet because I've damaged a chip capacitor, Gray. In removing the old chip, it took a lot of heat to lift that off the board. Some of the track is lifted because of the fact that it was already burnt and destroyed. When I eventually got off that component, the part of the circuit track did lift, and but as a result of trying to get this blasted component off, the little Stanley knife, well, it wasn't a Stanley knife, but a little scalpel blade. I was using a scalpel blade to try and assist in getting under the leg of the chip. And one of the chip capacitors, ceramic surface mount chips, I've taken off part of the encapsulation on one side of the cap, which has made it useless now, so I've got to replace the capacitor, but I have no idea what value that capacitor is. As circuit diagrams and information on this, what is it? Waxon radio is just about non-existent. So I don't know what capacitor. It was probably a biasing capacitor or bypass capacitor, so it might be a 0.1 or something. But anyway, I haven't got back to it yet. I've just left it there. But hopefully I might be able to get to it this weekend. I don't know. But while it's sitting on the bench, I've got no radios in the car. Anyway, all right. There it is. Okay, so it's over to you there, Calvin. VK3CA. I don't know why I should remember that easily enough. It's Cal, you know. VK3CAL, VK3CSJ.
Thanks very much, Clint. Yeah, you did give me the hit there a couple of times, mate, when I was at Foundation, and yeah, I did eventually go and get a standard, at least a standard anyway. And as Graham will probably follow up on this, he'll probably say, well, you know the next step. But anyway, at least I got rid of the F call anyway, mate. That's the main thing, that's for sure. The main thing I wanted was 20 metres, and I had a lot of DS come up there back when Tom was on Graham, back in Berwick, when we lived in Berwick. And I thought, I was at work and I'd always text messages, blah, 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 who we spoke to, and I'm like, oh, God, yeah, all right. Anyway, when was the Moravian Handfest on, by the way? I only picked up on it tonight when I heard you guys talking about it, VK3GL and a group, VK3CAL.
It's okay, Colin. VK3CAL and the group, VK3GL. And a good evening to Craig if you're still listening to VK3KG. Signal was certainly improved on that. Previously I couldn't hear him at all, nothing at all. Kelvin, the Hamfest is next Saturday, the 6th of May. So that's when it's on, down at Kingston. So it should be a good morning's turnout. So you're not sure if you'll bother to come down. And Clint, now I'm just thinking here aloud. I have got a couple of Watson chassis here that are virtually complete. They don't work, but they are virtually complete. And I'm assuming that the bypass capacitor or similar, what you're after for the chip capacitor, would be available in one of those. So I don't know whether that's of any use to you. And I think the only service manual that I've got, just clarify, the radio, it's a quad bander or was it the dual bander, over?
Yeah, it's the quad bander.
Okay, yeah, righto. Well, look, I don't have the service manual for the quad. I do have a version of the service manual for the dual bander. But I would assume that the PA is sort of very similar anyway. In and around that area should be very similar. So, yeah, all right. I wonder whether or not a chassis would help you out at all if you want to, drag a part off it or something there, Clint, over.
Yeah, that'd be actually quite good.
What happened?
Oh, I'll shut that up. I'm listening to the audio. Hang on. Oh, sorry, I'm not transmitting. So now I am. Oh, confusing. I was listening to the audio coming back off the television repeater, which is obviously delayed a little bit because you're all being piped out on Melbourne TV repeater, which is also going over to the BATC server too. So worldwide coverage, and my YouTube stream hasn't fallen over, so there's still a YouTube stream running at the same time. Television galore. Yeah, that would be fantastic. What I'll do is I'll take a picture. I'll get my super new Samsung S23 ultra wide deep field telescope camera on the phone, and I'll take a photograph of the approximate location where this cap is, and you'll be able to see straight away if it's the same, cap in the same position. So yes, if I can carefully remove the cap from one of your spare boards there, that would probably help the situation for sure. Because I'll go ahead and then fit the new driver amp back, which I have to be very careful about, because like I say, some of the track is damaged. I've got to clean that up and see if it's still workable. But that would probably help heaps. And I get paid next Tuesday, so you really won't see any funds from me until midweek. I'm quite destitute at the moment. VK3 not WV. Oh, pardon me. I'm losing it. VK3GL, VK3CSJ.
Yeah, VK3CSJ, VK3GL. Yeah, that's okay. No problem at all, Clint. I just I knew that you knew that, about the bits and bobs that you were going to fix up. So that's okay. No issue at all there. Just just let us know when you're done, and that'll be fine. Look, if you do send a picture through, that'll be okay. If you do take the photograph of something in the morning and send it over, don't be too distressed if I don't respond straight away. I might be pushing a few Zs, and I'm going. Well, I will be, because I don't finish work until 7 a.m. in the morning, and when I get up tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to go down to Pakenham. I've organised to have a flu injection, and I'm going to have a COVID booster at the same time. And I've got to go to the chemist, and I've got to go to the optometrist. I had an eye test about a week and a half ago, and they said that my eyes haven't changed much, which I was really happy about. I haven't had a new set of glasses, I reckon, we've been here for 5 years, and I can't remember how long it was before that when I got my last pair of glasses. I reckon it was probably a couple of years, 2 or 3 years after I left Coles. So that'd be 2010, maybe 2011. I got a set of glasses, and I also got prescription inserts for my driving glasses, my sunglasses. Anyway, I got the eyes tested, and there's a slight improvement in one eye and a slight degradation in the other. But they said general eye health was really good. I was a bit concerned. My right eye over night time gets a bit dry when I'm working, and they said, that's probably more so just a bit of eye strain, and they prescribed some eye drops for me to use if I find that I've got a little bit of discomfort. So I've been using those. That's been a lot better. But I was a bit concerned I might have had a cataract. Because or the start of a cataract, because sometimes I would, get on during the course of the night, and my right eye would become a bit foggy. And of course, I don't know what a cataract symptom's like. I suppose it's probably something that's there nearly all the time. Well, you'd know. I think you've had yours done. Anyway, I thought, I better get it all checked out. But the eye health was excellent. They said all very good. So I was quite pleased with that. I just got to organise some glasses now, because the place that I went to, they don't do the special prescription glasses for my sunnies. So, because my cycling glasses, my sunglasses that I use for driving and that, they're like a Polaroid type thing. They've got all different inserts and stuff you can use with them. Well, the inserts that I have are a prescription lens that clips inside, and the optometrist didn't do the particular lens size. Yeah, anyway, so I got that on tomorrow. Pop into the optometrist I'm going to go and have a look in OPSM. Check out whether they actually can do these particular glasses or not. So there we go. And other than that, I'm not sure when I'll be down sort of your way. But Doc, if you do send a photograph through of the board, I'll have a squiz, see whether or not the components are right, and we can go from there. Anyway, I better stick it up to Kelvin, and he can put it back around to you there, Clint. And Kelvin, for your information, I got a photo from Chris, who's down at Bem River at the moment, and he went out fishing for a few hours yesterday, I think it was, yes, yesterday. He went out fishing for a few hours, and he went down one of the beaches down near Pearl Point. He didn't go all the way down to Pearl Point, but he went to one of the beaches down around that way. He's come home, he's bagged out, mate. I tell you, he's got, I reckon, I don't know what was on the picture now, but he had them all lined up on the fish cleaning station. I'll see if I can find the picture. Here we go. Where are we? Here's the picture. 1, 2, 3. He's got about a dozen fish. They all look like they're all pretty good size too. So all rainbow salmon trout. VK3CAL and the group VK3GL.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for it to come through now. Very good. No, it hasn't come through yet. Probably that little while. Anyway, I heard you guys talking about the Handfest next weekend. I know it's now next weekend, but yeah. Really, I don't think there's nothing I really need. And I'll be organising my mates for next week to get this Nelly Tower back to my place. He'll be up probably Wednesday, so I'll get on the phone to him and I'll hire a trailer and we'll go and get it back. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, yeah, there's some nice fish there, that's for sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, that's not a bad catch, for sure. Yeah, so we'll organise that getting that back to my place next week, Graham. That's not a bad haul, is it, eh?
Yeah, well, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. I don't know when Chris is coming back. They went down there last Saturday, so I'm not sure whether... well, look, the other thing, I haven't even caught up with him on HF. He may or may not have even been operating HF. He said he was going to set it up. I should try and catch up with him. Maybe actually, I might message him and say I'll catch up tomorrow night. I can't do Sunday night. Can't catch up with him then because we're going to the footy in the city. So won't be around on Sunday night, but I can probably have a bit of a chat to him tomorrow night and that. So I'll message you if we happen to come up on air and have a few words. But look, it's a good cat, that's for sure. He actually doesn't eat the fish. I don't know whether you know that or not. He doesn't eat it. He'll often bring fish back for other people. So the thing is, I'll probably end up scoring a few of those on his way back through. I think he's going to let me know anyway when they're coming through, and we'll catch up for a cup of coffee or something before they take the final leg home. So there we be. So Clint, I don't know whether you're aware or not, but Chris had gone down to Bem River. I couldn't organise the timing of it in between my work shifts for it to be able to work. Otherwise, and it wasn't worth my while going down there for 2 or 3 days. If I'm going to go down there, I want at least 5 days away, or 5 clear days away, so that you can enjoy and make it worthwhile. So there we be. VK3 CSJ and the group VK3GL.
Yeah, okay, Greg. Just quickly, Craig, are you still there? No, it looks like he's gone. Okay. No, I didn't know that Chris had gone down to Bem River. And I know it's been a while since you guys have gone off down to Bem River like you usually do. So it looks like Chris has vacated and gone down there. It's not the best time of the year. It'll be nice and cold and wet down there now. What sort of fish are they?
They're Australian salmon.
Oh, right. Okay. That could be interesting. I finished my last fish last night, Atlantic salmon. At least it's where they claim it comes from, John West. Little strips of fish, which are absolutely delectable to steam cook, because that's usually what I do with them. Anyway, all right, I'm out of here because I'm zipped, and I just want to try and recover before going to bed. Did you send me a picture, have you? It sounds like you might have sent me a bloody picture. Alright, let's have a look. On my Super S23 telescope camera, which is not 3. Hang on, I was just about to give my code out thing. Password. Hang on, where are we? Grown VK3GL picture. Okay. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Oops, wrong thing. Just zooming in on it. There we are. Oh, they're very nice. Poor little fishies. They should have been left alone. And he doesn't eat them. Why doesn't he eat them? That's a strange thing, to catch fish and not enjoy them, I suppose. Yeah. Oh, well, as Calvin says, they're all reasonably good sizes too. Ah, so is that what you can catch off the coast of Bem River? Normally it's a whole lot of bloody bream. Anyway, that's good. I wouldn't know what to do with them, to be honest. I prefer them wrapped in plastic and bought from Coles supermarket. Yeah, all right. I'll take a pic of the transmitter, the way it looks, and we'll go from there. I'll do that probably tomorrow when there's a bit of daylight coming in through the window. VK3GL, VK3CSJ.
Yep, okay, VK3CSJ, VK3GL. Yes, the bream are normally from in the river and the estuaries sort of area is where the bream are caught, but the salmon are caught on the surf out on the beach. So that's where Chris said he'd gone to. So yeah, it's unreal, you know. Like I went down there. I think I got 3 or 4 last time when I went down to Pearl Point, and a couple of them were really, really nice fish. Brought them home, and Alison and I, one night I had one there that was big enough for both of us, and I stuffed it and steamed it up. That was really, really nice. Just slowly baked with some salad, and that was really nice. We really enjoyed that. So we enjoy our seafood, Alison and I. Actually, I should say to you, Clint, something that you can do in your air fryer is Coles have these salmon portions. They're Tasmanian salmon portions, and they have a crumbed coating mix in the packet. So these are fresh. They're like a Cryovac sealed tray container with 2 fillets on it. They're only about $10 or something like that, $10 or $11, and you've got this crumb mix that you sprinkle onto the fillets, and then you stick that in the air fryer for about, I think Alison does it on 180 degrees for about roughly about 8 minutes or something like that, and they're beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So yeah, we've been experimenting with the air fryer a bit with the sorts of things you can do, and I've done pies. I did sausage rolls in there. Did a couple of those today. That was when I got up. There was a couple of frozen sausage rolls. I defrost them in the microwave and then stick them in the air fryer. So yeah, it comes up quite okay. All right, well, I'll let you go there, Clint, and we'll catch up with you. Send the message through tomorrow anyway. We'll have a look at the picture and we can go from there. And I'll stick it up to Kelvin and he can pass on 7-3, and I might just have a few words to Kel if he's going to be kicking around. VK3CAL and the group VK3GL.
Yeah, thanks very much, Graham. No worries. And, believe me, there's many different ways you can cook fish, mate. Even, you're walking through Coles, have a look at the fish, Atlantic salmon. You can just pan fry it if you want to. You get a nice crispy skin, on low heat, of course. A little bit of salt and pepper, not too much. But just rotate it around so make sure it's cooked all the way through. But mate, believe me, it's so nice. But even you can do it other ways too. You can fill up the small portions you can dip it in egg and breadcrumbs, which seals in the moisture as well. That's very nice. I love my fish cooked that way in egg and breadcrumbs. Seals in the moisture and doesn't dry out. As long as you don't cook it too long. When the egg and breadcrumbs are golden brown, that's it, mate. Pour it out. It's beautiful, believe me, and you'll totally enjoy it. Many different ways you can cook fish. Yeah, I've got an air fryer up here too, Graham, and they are really good. Even like pork chops and things like that I've done. You get the rind on the back of the chop, and I've sort of put it in the rack the way that the rind is pointing up to the heat ray at the top, and you can actually get crackling out of it too. I've done it a couple of times. Please believe me, if you just get an air fryer, mate, they are really good. There's many different things that cook in them, and I'll tell you what, even a piece of steak, you can see the fat dropping off it. It is really, really nice. You don't get all the fat content, it all drops out. Even when you finish cooking it, just put it in a bowl or something like that on an angle. You can see all the rest of the fat that's in the meat, and it'll all dry. The main thing is you've got to remember, don't overcook it. Never overcook anything. Otherwise it gets to the taste like, you're eating beef litter. It's not very good.